Good morning. Good morning, everybody. I hope you're having a wonderful day, no matter the place or the time. So I'm going to use a couple of these Dollar Tree metal plaques and some paint stir sticks from Lowe's and Dollar Tree decals to make a cute little farmhouse style sign. So I'm taping my two paint stir sticks together so that I can cut them both at the same time on my miter saw or chop saw, whatever you call it. I've heard it called both. So I know that these plaques are 7 by 7. So 14 inches is what we would need the sides to be, but we have to account for the thickness of the other two pieces that we're going to use. So I'm cutting them at 14.5 inches, and you need two of those at 14.5. And I don't know why I still motion to the camera. I know I'm going to speed it up, but so yeah, two at 14.5. And then for the side pieces, they need to be 7 inches. So I initially say we need two at 7 inches, but I wanted one in the center also that I had forgotten about. So we need three of them at 7 inches. I'm going to use Waverly Antique Wax to stain the wood, but you can use paint. You could paint it. The decals are black. So yeah, it says 2 at 7, but you need 3 at 7. The decals are black, and then anything goes with the metal. So I'm just testing it out here to see if it's going to work. And it does, but it ends up in the end, I end up with a gap in one of the corners, which has to be from, that's where I realized I needed a third one. But the gap has to be from me not getting the metal plaques glued evenly. I tried really hard. I don't know if maybe one of them is misshapen, but I measured and I used my square, but I still ended up with a gap up in one of the corners. So anyway, I'm going to stain these with the Waverly Antique Wax, and they turn out so pretty, very pretty. The one thing I don't like about the Lowe's paint stir sticks are the numbers, the ruler on the back side, because you will be able to see that with this project. So you want to stain the fronts, back, sides, and ends. The long ones, you will be able to see all of it. So you want to make sure you get full coverage. Put it on and then wipe it off. Let it dry. I did that to all of the sticks, and I let them dry. So now I'm cutting up my decal. It says, wash your hands and say your prayers because Jesus and germs are everywhere. I'm just cleaning off the plaques and drying them off before I apply the decal. I've had these decals for a while, and I just didn't know what I was going to do with them. I bought them before I got my Cricut, but I just never got around to using them. So I'm just making sure that I just do a little bit at a time so it goes down into those grooves and doesn't give me any air bubbles. And it worked really fine. And that sticks to the metal very, very well. So up here I could have moved my because Jesus down a little bit further, but I was worried that the and germs are everywhere wouldn't fit on there if I didn't get it up there, but I did get a little bit too high. Just a little bit. It's not terrible. So same thing, just go a little bit at a time, make sure that it goes down into those little grooves. And this is nice that Dollar Tree has these. decals to use. Afterwards, you can see the outline of the sticker a little bit, but it's not terrible. It's really not. It really turns out looking good. Okay, so everything's dry. I'm going to stick the two plaques together. Now, hot glue doesn't work on this. It just chills it out. So this is from the Dollar General Crafter's Closet glue, and it immediately started gushing out as soon as I took the cap off. That was one of the things I liked about it, is that it didn't do that. But I guess as I got down to the bottom, you know, closer to the end of the container, not the bottom, it's a little bit different now. So anyways, the hot glue goes on and it just sets up, and you can just pick it right back off. So I tried it. It did not work. So anyways, I'm going to use this, and then after this dries, it's still a little iffy. I mean, it's together, but it feels like it's not sturdy enough. So I do take some super glue, and I believe it's super glue gel, and add to the back side. After this completely dries, now it's sat for I think it sat overnight, so I just left it alone. But evidently I didn't get it completely even though I tried. I was surprised. Nope, just regular super glue. I was surprised that it didn't, that it was crooked, because I really did try to get it straight. But I end up in the end breaking the wood glue and knocking the frame down, you know, so that I didn't have the gap in it. But then it leaves a ledge on the top. There's my new clamps I just bought. They had a 2-for-1 sale. You buy one, you get the second one for free at this little tool store. I love that place. But anyway, so I use the hot glue, or not hot glue, I use the wood glue only. I don't use any hot glue or any other kind of glue on the wood. I just use the wood glue. But like I said, I knocked that down at the end so that I end up having a ledge on the top of the side that's closest to me. I'm not sure, you know, now that I did that, I re-glued it that way so that there's no gap in the sign, because it just looked terrible. So now I can probably cut that off, you know, cut it off of the top there, and then just stain the part that would be raw wood at that point. But I'm not sure what I'm going to do. It's a really cute sign. I wanted to put it in my bathroom. So darn me. I get so aggravated sometimes. But I'm not perfect, right? I don't think any of us are. But I'm trying to use up these Dollar Tree plaques. They are not easy to use. They are big. They're 7x7. So if you put them together, you have a really big, like if you want to make a house or something, you have a really big roof. So I might try to make some outhouses with them, you know, using them as the roof. Maybe those smaller outhouses that you put in the bathroom and you put your extra toilet paper in. I think that might be good. But they're hard to cut, like super hard. And they come off with sharp edges, so I don't think cutting them is in my future. I don't have a saw for metal, so I think maybe I can buy a blade for my scroll saw. Maybe that would be the answer. But so I have to come up with things to do with these as a whole piece, because I bought a case of them. But I had cut apart a couple of pieces of the plaques, well, metal plaques that came with different signs, and they're totally different than those. Those cut real easy. You could cut a straight line with them. That's what I thought I was getting, but I'm not. These are really thick and just super hard to cut. I guess I've said that about 8 times now. I'll stop saying it. But I love the way they look. I absolutely love the way they look. Now, I should have put the middle piece in before I clamped, because I put the glue on the ends and then I end up scraping the glue off trying to get it in place. But it's kind of a tight fit, so it didn't really need a lot of glue. But yeah, hindsight and all, I should have put it on before. I should have put the piece in before I clamped. Or I should have loosened up my clamps right here and did it, but I did not do that. I squirted that glue out. Can you hear my dog snoring in the background? Poor guy. He is such a good dog. I love my dog so much. I have 2 boxers and a Border Collie Lab mix. And that Border Collie Lab mix, she's 13 years old, but I'm going to tell you something. She's the most obedient dog I have ever seen in my life. If you tell her no, she don't do it. Now, the other dogs are very obedient also, but with my little Border Collie Lab, we've never had to put her on a chain. She stays right in the yard. We have never had a problem with her until one time she went in heat. That's a totally different story. We ended up with 10 puppies out of that. But she's such a good dog. My dogs now at the ages that they are really good dogs. Okay, so anyways, I got that in there, and now we just leave it set. And you see, I snugged that up there. There's nothing holding those metal plaques in, except that they are inside the frame. So once I saw that I had a gap, I took that out of the back. I snapped it out of there and tried to fix it. And I wished I would have just left it in there, because then once I did that, there's no, really no going back. But I don't know what I'm showing you there. Oh, I'm just going to put the hot glue. Okay. So put the hot glue on to hold the plaques down, to hold them in place so that they don't fall out. But the hot glue did not work. It came right back off. It just does not work on those metal plaques. Here, I'm just trying to smooth it out so it doesn't look like a big glob. But it ends up popping out on me, or I was trying to do one of the corners, pop it up a little bit. Yeah, there's the glue globs. They just came right off. So anyways, I end up popping it off of there. It's still pretty snug down at the base, but there was no fixing it. Evidently, I just got down it, and I can tell you, I can look at it right now, and you cannot tell where it's crooked. So I'm wondering if I just got a wonky cut on one of the, if it came that way with a wonky cut on it. But I was very disappointed. You see the gap there? Can't really see that, but it was pretty much even at the bottom. It's just wonky at top. So I'm just going to be messing around with it, trying to get it decent looking. But there's really nothing, there's nothing I can do about that gap. So I'm going to put this adhesive on here to try to hold that plaque down to the wood, and it doesn't work either. So I ended up snapping it in and just putting some glue globs on it to keep it from falling out the back side. But like I said, I end up busting that top. When you're looking at the picture straight on, it would be on your left side, top corner. I end up just taking a hammer and pounding that, breaking that glue, and re-gluing that to hide the gap. So I just have a little bit of a overhang, I guess, on the top side there where I did that. But it does look better without the gap. So anyways, the best thing you can do with these is just put some hot glue in globs around the back side of the frame so that it won't fall out. So I got one side that's in real tight and one side that's floppy. So I'm just going to take the floppy part, put a piece of glue, put a dab of glue on there, and you know, wait for it to dry. We're in fast motion. It took it a minute. So just to make sure that it stays where we put it. So thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate you. I hope you'll hit like and subscribe. I do have more of these metal plaques, so I plan on trying to figure out how to. Now I did this here. It didn't do anything. It was just a big waste of my time. This is the side, I believe. Is it the side? Well, I'm not sure why it popped open. But here I'm just trying to get the glue glob on there to hold the metal plaque in. But anyways, I have a whole box of these, so I'm going to try to figure out ways to use them. So if it's something you're interested in, please come back. Please hit the subscribe button. Okay, so I've got all the globs on there. That one didn't need, one corner didn't need any. Wash your hands and say your prayers, because Jesus and germs are everywhere. Okay, so I decided in between the Jesus and, see, I could have moved that down a little bit, but I was worried about the placement. So I decided to take a little piece of ribbon that I got from Amazon. I almost said Walmart. I don't know why that would even come into my head. From Amazon, and make a little shoestring bow. And the ribbon was kind of weird. It's not real pliable. It didn't want to work with me, so it took me a minute to get that bow made. But I'm going to dovetail the ends. Dovetail, not dovetail. Before I glue it down. And it does stick to it real good. I used hot glue. I don't know why. Sometimes it sticks and sometimes it doesn't. But anyways, I thought that it just needed something there. So, and I think it turned out really cute that way. Now this stands up on its own, so I didn't put a hanger on it. I'm not sure. I'd probably put a sawtooth hanger on the back of it, maybe. I was going to just stand it up on my counter in the bathroom, so I didn't put any kind of a hanger on it. But you could always put a tumbling tower block, or a couple of them, on the back side if you were worried about it falling over. Okay, so here it is. Thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate you. I always try to beat the video, and I don't want it to end while I'm talking. Anyways, I hope you're having a great day. I hope you continue to have a great day. And here it is. I tried to do camera angles so that you couldn't see the gap, and then after I fixed it, which I'm pretty sure you'll see right here, the piece sticking up. Nope, I didn't get it. I was trying to avoid it. The piece sticking up on the left side as you're looking at it. Yep, there it is. See, I knocked that down to get rid of that gap. But it still is cute. I just need to cut that piece off now. I could probably do it. I'm not sure, actually. Alright, thank you for watching.